How in the world? So, back in seventh grade, my physics teacher showed us this documentary. And this documentary changed everything for me. Because it was this documentary that ultimately helped me see the world in a way that was unpopular at the time. And I asked my teacher if I could borrow this DVD set when she showed it to me, and I borrowed it, and I forgot to give it back by the end of the year, and I told her I was going to bring it to her when 8th grade was starting, but she had moved to New York by that time, and I couldn't bring it back to her. She did take all of my, I think they're called the horrible science books. I gave her a whole bunch of those. And so this has been missing since 2010. And I've been looking for this box set since then. It's almost 2025. So let's just call it right before 2025. Can't really call it 2024 now, but yeah. Apparently this entire box set has been in the medicine cabinet for I don't know how long. Well, 14 years almost. 13 and a half. And as a matter of fact, I have videos on my YouTube channel from that class. The one where I have the the old video where I have the alcohol in the soda bottle and it ignites and rockets off. That's from that class. But yeah, that was when I watched this movie. I mean, this documentary series, and I remember thinking to myself, like, so that was when I started, thinking that, the entire universe is nothing but pure information, pure energy, everything is vibes, and everyone was laughing at me because they said, that's not string theory, except now that's kind of modern science. The funny thing is, I remember that I thought to myself, immediately after watching the documentary, that let's say we have three universes, right? Universe A, B, and C. If Universe A contains Universe B, and Universe B contains Universe C, and Universe C contains Universe A, where is this whole structure stored? And none of my classmates could really understand what I was saying. They didn't really care. I was the only one that really cared about watching this documentary. And it turns out that the co-author of the Elegant Universe, the actual book, he worked at UCF. And so I went to UCF, and I'm sitting there in front of this professor, this 12-year-old kid, and I'm talking about Calabi-Yau manifolds and how all of the black holes are topologically interconnected via a higher dimension via the Calabi-Yau manifolds, and that they are all sharing information and are like communicating with each other. And I think I might have said that they're all the same singularity or something like that, and that's how like information communicates. And I was talking about white holes and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, you're too young to be talking about these things. You should go to computer science." And that's what everyone always told me: don't do math, don't do this, do computer science. And that's why I didn't actually end up doing computer science, because I resented this idea that I was not quote unquote good enough for this stuff. So I thought that computer science was kind of like a way for people to tell me that I'm not good enough for something. In retrospect, most of the people were like that, but I think this particular guy was kind of like spooked that I was talking about these kind of things. But it's really funny because like the sort of stuff that I was talking about back then is like kind of considered modern string theory and modern science and understanding of quantum mechanics and stuff. But yeah, the fact that I'm finding this thing for the first time in 14 years, the boxed set that changed it on. This has been on my mind, this specific DVDs. I was even recently thinking, where is this? Because I was writing fan fiction that involved the. Let's see, where is it? I was writing fan fiction about Calabi-Yau manifolds and stuff, and where is it? Yeah, I was basically writing Futurama fan fiction, in the context of all of the 4 main Futurama movies, kind of like a crossover of them, in context of the singularity. Also, it's apparently this area's bicentennial 200-year anniversary, December 29, 1824, I think. Yeah, it was December 29th, 1824. Like, I think it's called Mosquito County was, I guess, annexed. I don't know what the right word is, but the fact that I found this kind of, y'all don't know what synchronicity really is, and it's just a law of attraction. And Nishio Kaku, this series is what sold me on Nishio Kaku, but Nishio Kaku is actually spiritual. And a lot of people, oh my god, it's falling apart. A lot of people don't really understand string theory. They told me that I don't understand string theory, and then it turns out that I was understanding string theory before other people understood string theory when I was a kid. And additionally, I found our entire box set of Studio Ghibli movies, which I bought before I knew that Studio Ghibli was some weeb stuff. My dad was just like, oh, this is the Pixar of Japan. And this was the only so I watched Kiki's Delivery Service and all that stuff. I think this is a whole thing. I have to slide out, right? So this is like an OG original Studio Ghibli set. And I'm pretty sure the only ones that I think I watched Castle in the Sky, Kiki's Delivery Service, which I remember very fondly, and Princess Mononoke, which was absolutely traumatizing. But the best thing that I found was this. This is my childhood. Back when we still had the Chrysler Town and Country, I think, we had a version of it that, before screens were ever popular, right? That had the built-in screen that you can like plug in RCA cables and play the GameCubes and stuff, and also it had like a VCR player, so that whenever we went on road trips, we would play these VCR tapes, and we had a couple of them, but this is specifically one of the ones that I would watch over and over and over and over again. And this one has the one episode that makes Ash at least canonically 11 years old, because of the there's an episode in here where he celebrates his 1-year anniversary of meeting Pikachu. And in my opinion, Ash is 16 or 17, because if you can tell by the way that things progress, Ash does seem to age. But, and like, Brock goes to college, effectively, so yeah, I think Ash is like 16 or 17. But anyways, so this has the biker gang episode, the Deplika episode, and Pikachu's goodbye. And that episode just kind of fucked with me so badly, because I would always cry in that episode. And that song is so depressing because it's about pet loss. And I remember whenever when Papa and Mitchell were still around, I was like, this song is about losing pets. And I kept listening to it and crying because like I kind of knew that I would lose them early, and so that the song just soul crushing. But yeah, I haven't watched all the rest of the Studio Ghibli movies. I've tried to watch Totoro, but it's kind of boring to me. It's too slow. The Studio Ghibli movies have a way of either being the absolute most traumatizing thing you've ever watched, or so slow that it's just painful to watch. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Ghibli fan. But, I mean, the movies are good, but I just can't watch them. But, yeah, so I find this, and this, as I'm writing what... Well, I kind of, like, moved away from it. I'll probably do the fan fiction another time, but I kind of decided to do... I made this video of this earlier. Eventually it's going to be a... take this format, if that makes sense. It's supposed to be like converting the entire IPv4 datagram into a story format, which is what I was trying to go for. But I'm using this as a sort of portfolio to try and get a job. But yeah, it's some real spooky action at a distance there, Mr. Green, Professor Dr. Green, and Dr. Kaku. That's so that's trippy. That's spooky action at a distance, folks. That's what it looks like.